The What Up Doe Show. Your commentary on sports, entertainment, and alternative news.
Yeah. Hey, it's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. Yo, what up, though, y'all? It's your boy T. Wilson live on what's today, Wednesday? On a Wednesday morning, it is hump day, and we just kicking it off for you live. We just want you to get off to a good start this morning. I just want to say big up to all my people who got birthdays today. Let's go ahead and do the birthdays. The beautiful Gloria Hughes. How you doing, Gloria? Also, my old friend, we go way back. High school, we were pretty cool. We were real cool in high school. Cool girl, Sid Grace. How you doing, Sid? Wendy Brown, the beautiful Wendy Brown. Glory Udo. The beautiful Cassandra Scott. My homeboy Corey Mo Better Riley. What up, though? And the beautiful Jenna Smith. Happy birthday to all of y'all. And I ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna move right on along, man, and get this party started.
What Up Doe Sports.
The Ray Rice story won't go away, man. I won't bore you with details because it is all over the news on every channel. His wife spoke. He spoke. Nike dropped him. Ravens are allowing people to bring in their Ray Rice jerseys for an exchange. And if you already have the new Madden, you have a collector's item because they are pulling his image from the game effective immediately. After a day of pondering, I did a commentary yesterday about it. I had somewhat of a knee-jerk reaction like everybody else. But, after some thought, after some time, I've been rethinking a lot of that and also hearing a lot of other commentary on it. I've heard several perspectives on this story, and I'd like to one day revisit my commentary. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow because today I want to talk about something different. So, but I was most shocked by Rush Limbaugh's take on this. I was flipping through channels and came across the Rush Limbaugh show. He was discussing it, so I stopped to hear his take. And believe it or not, he's supporting Ray Rice. He feels like, hey, it was no different before, but because we see it, all of a sudden it's the end of the world. Because the media is putting it out there, it's the end of the world. But before, we saw him dragging her off the elevator, and we know she wasn't drunk. We know she wasn't fainted. So what's the difference? Now and then, well, the difference is we saw it, and that does make a difference, Rush. But I get his point. One thought that I had though, where I think Ray actually may find some traction, is the NFL's own words, quote unquote, 6 games for first incident, and you're out the league for a second. I think with that said, if there's a team willing to pick him up after 6 games, he might be given a second chance after 6 games. Roger Goodell has not counted out bringing him back, and I think that's why, because I think once the union gets a hold of this case, that's where they're going to go. And I think after 6 games, he's going to get a shot to come back. Now, the NFL is still claiming they asked for the video and didn't get it. I am not buying it. Interesting how Wes Welker's might be getting back in, though. I mean, it's interesting. We're going to get back to that. I'm really going to address that later. Chauncey Billups will not return for an 18th NBA season next year. Instead, the point guard decided to retire. Oh, man, big up for Chauncey. Chauncey said he drew interest on the free agent market, but decided his career had run its course. It's just time. I know when it's time. Billups told What Up Doe Sports, my mind and my desire is still strong. I just can't ignore the fact that I haven't been healthy for 3 years. I can try again and get to a point where I think I can go, but I just can't sustain. Me not being able to play the way that I can play, that's when you kind of know it's that time. Limited by injuries, Billups appeared in just 61 regular season games the last 3 years. He spent last season in Detroit, one of 9 teams he played for during his career. The best years of his career, of course, came with the Pistons. Whoop, whoop! Including when the Detroit Pistons won the NBA championship in 2004, and he was named MVP. NBA Finals MVP. It's just time. I'm happy, excited. The game was very, very good to me. I felt like I was equally as good to the game, the way I played it and the way I respected it and the way I carried myself through the process. Bravo. I agree. Chauncey, you really did respect the game. Love the way you played the game. You always gave it your all, man. You are a fantastic player. You are a class act. And the Pistons love you. Detroit loves you. And the NBA should respect you. And good luck in your future endeavors post your NBA career. I'd say he had a successful career, man. He led the Pistons to 6 straight Eastern Conference championship games, 2 championships, and won 1. So, hey, man, that's success in my book. In my book, that's
What Up
success.
Doe Entertainment.
In one of her final interviews, Joan Rivers named Michelle Obama as one of 3 people she didn't want attending her funeral. How about that? You get funeral uninvites before you die. How about that? Joan Rivers, a trip. The veteran comedian passed away on Thursday, September 4th, days after suffering a cardiac arrest during a routine throat procedure. Her funeral attracted a bevy of celebs, but Michelle Obama was not one of them. So she got her wish in that regard. In an interview in the UK conducted just weeks before her death, she came up with a list of people she didn't want at the funeral. The First Lady, whom she branded a tranny, singer Adele for being fat, and comedian Chelsea Handler, who Rivers dubbed a drunk and a whore. She also discussed how she knew death would soon be inevitable because of her advancing years, and revealed she had been trying to help her daughter Melissa come to terms with it, but Melissa didn't want to come to terms with her mother's mortality. She said, "It's coming, baby. It's coming. Deal with it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna die. And when I do, people are not gonna say, 'Oh, she was so young.'"
What Up Doe News.
In Fontana, California, police said a man accused of stealing and abandoning a 2014 Ferrari 458 Spider stole the same car hours later from an impound lot. Fontana police said the black Ferrari was stopped at a DUI checkpoint August 29th, but Ernie Stephen Hooks sped off when officers discovered the vehicle had been reported stolen. The car was found abandoned in the area a short time later and was taken to an impound lot. Hooks allegedly broke into the impound lot around 3 a.m. and stole the car for a second time. Hooks was arrested while driving the car near his home on September 4th. Wait a minute. Whoa. Let's look at that timeline for a minute. So he was pulled over on August 29th, abandoned the car on August 29th. The car was taken to impound. I don't know if y'all caught that. He stole it again and was busted driving the stolen car on September 4th. So this guy stole the car and was driving near his home. So he stole the car and was just kicking it. It was like, I got it back. I just got the car back. Thank you. It's mine. He's drove around from August 29th till September 4th in the stolen car. That's gangster. I don't care what y'all say and how y'all classify it. I say that is gangster. In Mount Jewett, Pennsylvania, police said an intoxicated intruder broke into a closed bar and spread out on a kitchen table to take a drunken nap. Good man. The Pennsylvania State Police received a call at 4 a.m. Sunday from the owner of the Mountain Inn Bar, and the owner reported a man had been spotted loitering around the closed establishment. Police arrived to find William Duffy had broken into the bar through a front window before falling asleep on a kitchen table. He was tired. He was drunk. Nigga needed a place to sleep. Lay down. What's the problem? I don't understand what the problem is. He ain't steal nothing. He just had to get a little shut-eye. A little winky-wink. Leave me alone, damn it. Yeah, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. Goddamn right I'm drunk. I'm drunk. What? What? I peed on myself? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'll go to sleep. I'm going back to sleep. Leave me alone. In Santa Monica, California, a man who survived testicular cancer is pushing a 6-foot-tall inflatable testicle across the country to raise awareness of the disease. Thomas Cantley brought his giant testicle emblazoned with the slogan, "Be Ballsy," to Santa Monica, California. Thursday is the first stop on a tour of cities, including Las Vegas, Houston, Atlanta, New York, and Washington. Yes, he's coming to Houston. The big ball is coming to Houston, baby. I can't wait. When that nut comes to Houston, I want to see it. I want to be there for the revealing of the 6-foot ball. I want to see the big nut. I want to see it. I want to see the scrotum. I am a big fan of big scrotum. I can't wait. I can't wait. Look, Dad. Look, Mom. Gonads are coming up the road. I can't wait. This is going to be cool. Anyway, I wanted to do sort of a social experiment, Cantley told the What Up Doe Show. I didn't want to force myself on anyone. You didn't want to force yourself on anyone, so you just dragged a giant ball, a giant testicle down the street. I don't want to force myself on anyone. And what this does, and through this process, it forces people to come to me, ask me, what is this? What is it? What is this all about? It kind of looks like a testicle. What's going on? And it creates that conversation. I can then talk about my balls. I want to talk to people about my balls. And I don't want to just walk up to people and say, let me talk to you about my balls. So I drag this big nut across the country. And people say, come on, talk to me about your balls. And it's cool. Cantley said he hopes his project inspires men to get tested for testicular cancer. It's a 96% survival rate if caught early. So when you catch it early at stage 1, it's not progressive. It's contained. And you don't get the blue balls. I got the blue balls, but I survived the blue balls. You can survive blue balls, guys. Come talk to me about my nuts. Please, I want you to come talk to me about my gonads. Cantley said, I don't just want people to donate to me. I want people to connect with me. Connect with me like nuts are connecting with each other. I want to connect with people like gonads are connected to you. Connect to me like your scrotum, baby. I am a scrotum to you. I want to be your scrotum. I want to be your testicles. Seriously. Seriously, man, he's doing it for a good cause. I shouldn't tease him. We should not make fun of him. So if you're out there laughing right now, especially you Gloria Hughes, because you like to laugh at stuff, you should not be laughing. You should be ashamed of yourself. He's doing this for a good cause. He wants to connect to your scrotum. Let the man grab your balls. Let him have them. And it is now time for your What Up Doe movie review. All right, last night I watched a movie called Gun Hill. Oh man, it was good as hell. It's got Lorenz Tate. He's playing himself. Well, I'm not playing himself. He's playing two characters. He's playing twin brothers. One of the twins die, and the other takes the identity of the other. And very interesting, contrasting ways their lives had gone. So I don't believe that twins are convincing enough after they grow up, though. That's the only thing I didn't find believable. I believe that when twins grow up, you can tell the difference between the two. So if your twin brother showed up at work tomorrow, I would kind of know that you're not the same person. It's like, hold up, man, you're not the guy. Especially if I know you have a twin brother. I'm gonna say, somebody would have caught it. One guy did get suspicious, but and questioned it, but never really caught it. That part I found a little unbelievable, but it doesn't matter. It's a movie. It's supposed to be unbelievable. I'm okay with movies being a little unbelievable as long as it's interesting and it's fun to watch. Good story, great story. I enjoyed it a lot, and I had given it a 4 or 5, but I found myself last night before going to sleep, laying in bed, turning the movie back on and watching it again. And the fact that I watched it again said, you know what, if I watch one movie twice in the same day, I have to give it a 5. So I had to give that a 5. It's a loose 5. It's a weak 5, but a very strong 4. Very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's called Gun Hill. Has Lorenz Tate. You can stream it on Netflix, and that is my What Up Doe movie review. And before I go, I want to get into the What Up Doe closing commentary. The Atlanta Hawks story took an interesting turn after a full email making disparaging remarks and stereotypical remarks about the fans were released yesterday. The email was put out by the majority owner, Bruce Levinson, who is selling his interest in the team. Also, some remarks came out yesterday that was made by GM Danny Ferry about player Lil Dang. Magic Johnson has said that Danny Ferry should step down in light of his comments. Lil Dang did respond. He took the high road, and Danny Ferry responded, blaming it on somebody else. A letter from co-owner Michael Guerin Jr. He's the probably going to be now the majority owner since Levinson is selling his interest. He recommends that Ferry resign or be fired. Guerin cites Ferry telling the ownership group that Dang, quote-unquote, has a little African in him. His June 12th letter to co-owner Bruce Levinson said, Ferry went on to say, Dang has a little, he's good, but he has a little African in him. Not in a bad way, but he's like a guy who would have a nice store out front and sell you counterfeit stuff out of the back. Yeah, that's not a bad way at all. There's nothing bad about that. I don't understand why people have a problem with what Ferry said, right? Really. Added Guerin, Ferry completed the racial slur by describing Lil Dang and impliedly all persons of African descent as a two-faced liar and a cheat. But that's not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. This made me think a lot about, just in general lately, first about how this racism in the NBA, and then that also led me to start to think about racism in sports in general in this country. Yeah, we know the power structure and the money is in the hands of white people in this country for a lot of reasons. Most of it historical. But there is very little ownership by a lot of rich and powerful black men in this country. It's hard, very hard for black men to break into ownership in sports. And we're starting to see why. There is a network and a culture of racism. I mean, let's be frank. There is a network and a culture of racism amongst owners in the sports world, NFL and NBA alike. And, you know, Ray Rice being the whipping boy for domestic abuse, it seems like every major issue, a black person becomes the face of it and becomes the whipping boy of it when they are the person when they are the culprit, so that all the white people before them found themselves excused and is no longer remembered as that. The only one I can think of is Pete Rose being the face of gambling in baseball. Everything else seems to have a black face attached to it. Ben Roethlisberger should be the face of the rape and remembered for rape, but Kobe Bryant is. It's I don't know. There's a serious slant in sports. I mean, Michael Vick was kicked out of football for dog fighting, and he was jailed for dog fighting. And Ben Roethlisberger was let off the hook for rape and slapped on the wrist. Granted, again, I said it before, Ray Rice really had a slap on the wrist until the video came out, and everybody was okay with it until we got to see it. And when we got to see it, reality struck of how serious domestic abuse really is, especially when coming from a powerful person that plays football. I mean, you have to be a very, very strong, and I mean muscle-bound, strong person to succeed in the NFL, even to make it. So, yeah, we kind of sidestepped it until the reality of how serious it is was put in our face. Now everybody wants to overreact. And I know I'm getting a little off topic with that, but racism in sports is evident. We had the Donald Sterling thing, and when in the Donald Sterling story, I mentioned it before, he got a phone call saying, hey, your girl is out there taking pictures with Magic Johnson with black guys, which means there is a culture that is just like him. Mark Cuban says, if I see a black guy walking down the street, I'm crossing the street. If I see a white guy with tattoos, I'm walking across the street. And, you know, so while we like to blame ourselves for this, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that racism exists in this country. It's not our fault that we're looked at differently. It's not our fault that we're looked down upon. It's not our fault that things like Ferguson happens and is brushed under the rugs. It's not our fault that Trayvon Martin happens and is brushed under the rug. It's a big deal because we catch them. It's a big deal when we catch them. But how many times do we miss it? How many times does it happen under our nose and we don't see it? How many times does it fly under the radar and we don't catch it and it's okay? It's swept under the rug. That's why it's a big deal, folks. And it's not our fault. It's not your fault. You didn't ask to be born into blackness. It was an interesting comment in the Atlanta Hawks email from Bruce Levinson, where he says that he thinks the white audience were scared away because the crowd is 70% black, the bars are 90% black, we play hip-hop music, the cheerleaders are black, and the black fans scared away the white fans because the white fans were not comfortable being the minority. It's not our fault. See, when they are put in the position where they are the minority, they are excusably uncomfortable. We say it's okay for them to be uncomfortable around all these niggas. We on board. It's okay. But we're uncomfortable too. We're always in the minority. We found comfort in that. We found a way to be comfortable being in the minority. Or are we? Or do we find ourselves in a room full of white people trying to talk like white people? Do we find ourselves in a room full of white people having to suppress our blackness? Or do you stay true to it? Do you stay real? Do you talk like you talk, act like you act, be how you be? Or do you change? So when they're in a room full of black people, they feel like the black people are going to attack them. Or if something breaks out, they're going to lose. When they're outnumbered, they are afraid. They are uncomfortable. So they like to be where they are the majority. That's their comfort zone. And you know what? Quite frankly, so do we. But we can't even be comfortable then, because even then, even when we are the majority, like Ferguson, we are policed by the minority. I was in the store yesterday. I had, I didn't go in with the mindset whatsoever. I just went to go get a little fish sandwich or something. Little fish place down the road. I won't even name it. But I walked in, and there's some young foreign guys behind the counter. I don't know what they were, Arab or whatever. Asian-looking chick at the register. I'm looking around. I'm in line. There's a Mexican couple, 3 black guys. I look around the restaurant, and there's black people all over the place. And one Mexican couple at a table, and the rest of the people in the place was black. One Mexican couple in line, the rest of the line was black. I looked at behind the counter. It's two of those little Arab-looking guys, or whatever they were. The Asian chick at the counter. I took a lean back to look in the back of behind the wall, look at the kitchen, and I see some more guys that look like the guys up front. And I said, oh, so we're okay. We're cool. It's cool to spend money with you, but it ain't okay to make money with you. Right? I looked around. I'm seeing all these black people sprinkle a couple of Mexicans here and there. But I don't see no blacks and no Mexicans behind the counter. I don't see nobody in here working. I don't see you sharing that wealth with the people you're getting it from. So you're taking money from the community and taking it to yours. And I walked out. I waited till I got to the front of the line. I turned around and I walked out. I got to go back because I should have made the statement and I didn't, but it's true. It looks to me like it's okay to make money with us, but it's not okay to make money off of us, but not okay to make money with us. And I thought that was very uncool, and it opened my eyes, and I think we need to pay more attention to that moving forward, and I certainly will. I didn't go in with that intention, but I came out with that statement, and I guess that's my commentary for the day, because I gotta go. I want to thank y'all for listening, man. That's my show for today. I got to get out of here. I really do. I'm running late, actually. I ran over. I didn't know my commentary was going to take me that far. I should have known, but it always happens when I'm talking race. I get a little involved. So anyway, I thank y'all for listening, man. I really do appreciate you listening in. Have a great hump day. Make it a prosperous one. Make it productive. And y'all have a great week. Peace out. Press your crease out. Keep the police out while I bust his niece out. And I'm out of here.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What up, though?